Oh, hey everybody. I mean, there's no real reason for the music. I just thought, if we're gonna be opening with XPlane today, we'd play something that slaps. And you know what? It slaps. And it's royalty free, which is even better. This is Shawl Paul by Norma Rockwell, RIP. You may have known her as Marilyn Monroe. Gone too soon. These are not lo-fi beats to study or relax to. That's because most of those, despite using sampling, are not royalty free. How do you feel about that? It's like when someone makes a YouTube video of a game that somebody else spent 15,000 hours making, and they're like, hey, can I use it in my review? And they're like, nah. That's my original content. Please do not steal. Can you shout out my boy Brian? Today's stream goes out to Brian Reynolds, the father of Ryan Reynolds, one of the top 10 charades players on the U.S. television program Body Language of all time. Shout out to Brian, making $1,300 on a show that makes $35,000 a day in advertising revenue. Congratulations, Brian. This one goes out to you. You don't need It's Tuesday, my dudes. I just gotta find like the longest songs. Like, what about Atris Groovemacher? Sad dance music. It's my favorite. My favorite genre? Sad dance. I'm on the corner watching you kiss her. That's right. I know Rabin. No, you can't get a shout out to Rudy from the first season of Survivor. One second, I'm just booting up XPlane. So we're gonna have we're gonna do like an hour-long flight today. Then in our second section, we're gonna be playing, what's gonna be the next one? It's gonna be, Guacamelee 2. I'm excited to see it happen. I love Guacamelee. It's been a long time since I played it. And then we're gonna play Ultimate Fishing Simulator, like straight up, because I ran out of stuff to play. No offense meant to. Here's the thing, if people were like, why don't you play Graveyard Keeper? Why don't you play Death's Gambit? Why don't you play Shenmue 1? Yo, I don't want to play that because I want to play memes. Okay, I've abandoned the life of a game journalist. I just want to fly airplanes and toss my rod and reel into the ocean, go angling, and have some fun together. You know what? Dan is, he said it in a very vulgar fashion, but he's not wrong. I want a bunch of side pieces, not a main bay. So I think, like, for an hour-long flight, personally, what about, like, a little, check this out, we'll do a little San Francisco International in a Boeing 737. Make sure we got enough fuel. That's way too much. How long is it from San Francisco to LA? Can't be more than 2 hours. 6 minutes? 45 minutes? That's perfect. 45 minutes in real life means an hour for me. What are the dinner options for this flight? Don't be ridiculous. This is a flight that's domestic on an American airline. We have pretzels. It's $7 an order. Dan, I already landed at DTW once. I accidentally flew to DET. And then I was like, wait a minute. This airport is about a microsecond long. 1 hour, 35-minute flight duration? You know what? We can run some of it in the background anyway. Here we go. I wanted to wave you in with the microwave neon sticks. So the opening part of the stream, it could just be like a little bit of a, it's chat. It's coffee time. I'm not going to do a YouTube series on XPlane because I think it would be an extreme waste of everybody's time and would probably ruin my career. But we can have a little coffee while we play some XPlane here. The beat is killing me. That's because it's sad dance music. Manchester to London. England. Are you going to show us your hot ass? You're lucky that, unlike most Twitch streamers, I have a sense of humor and a thick skin. Otherwise, I would use the nuclear option. IP ban your ass from orbit with a Scud missile. Why don't you play Euro Truck Simulator 2? Now, see, this is a question I actually prepared a statement on. When you're playing a flight simulator where you just plug in 3 values into the computer and then, you know, let autopilot fly at cruising altitude, people go, why don't you play a game where you actually do something, like Euro Truck or American Truck Simulator? Here's why. Driving, resident sleeper. Flying, you're flying through the fucking sky. Through the air. It's miraculous. It's incredible. Driving, oh, hit the pedal. Hit the snooze button. Alright, here we are. San Francisco International Airport. I'm not gonna turn on autopilot. We're gonna take a cruise past the Golden Gate and the Bay Bridge, and then we'll put it on autopilot. Driving, I sleep. Flying with NL, real shit. Absolutely. Okay, so straight off the bat, you gotta get your flight computer ready. Flight plan. We're starting at KSFO. That's our airport. We're flying to KLAX. And the flight number is EGG 420. There you go. Clacks. And we're departing from runway 1, of course. Runway 1, was it R? R for Ryan or L for Laterno? 1L, okay. And then we're arriving, let's just say like 25R, why not? Doesn't matter. Just fly, dude. Who's gonna stop you? Yo, I need the waypoints, okay? Then we got a discontinuity. Of course, like, because my life, like, I'm starting to live this, like, solipsism life, you know? Shell is our first waypoint. It's a little ridiculous. We also had bald show up in body language. We had egg show up in body language. It's a little ridiculous. Alright, now we need some takeoff music because we're pretty much ready to go. Magenta line indicates the way that we're supposed to travel. Now, so we don't all pass out and die, we're going to set our cabin altitude to like 30,000 feet. And then we're going to pick some takeoff music and we're going to be good to go. Oh, hey, Malf. How's it going? Leaky. Inspirational dance music. Nah. What about At the Game? Nah. The boy got skills. So lit. Eine kleine Nachtmusik. You know what? How about this? This seems like a good fit. Let's go, boys. Music to crash to? You don't need a prayer. This is an atheist airline, okay? You're flying Atheist Airways. If you're a believer, but you just thought we had the lowest prices, good luck. Alright, now. Take me, give me 1 second here. I want to see where's the bridge. It's a little bit north, so we're gonna do a quick little north pivot here. We're gonna go do a quick just crash it. We're gonna do a quick flyby of the bridges. We're gonna turn autopilot on and let it take us to sunny Los Angeles, California. Dew point minus 25 degrees Celsius. Altimeter 69er. Hi, Dad. Don't know his Twitch name, but he's in here for real. No memes. Hello, Mr. Giesling. I'm not gonna fly under the bridge. This isn't the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Dad Giesling? Well, it's Granddad Giesling. Was your first flight your journey to Korea? No, I flew, my first flight was when I was like 22. I went with my parents to Las Vegas. And I was entranced by the miracle of flight and also terrified by every single movement. Show the plane from outside. I can do that. I only have American Airlines livery. It's so freaking loud. I don't think Han Solo is Dan's dad. That's a little ridiculous. Alright, 1 sec. I'm actually turning the music down/off. Hey, please, yo, the yolk. There we go. It's just too, I couldn't hear myself think, to be honest. Okay, sorry, you're climbing up a little bit too high here. That's my bad. I didn't adjust the elevators. Plane's not really supposed to do this. I didn't adjust the trim. Yo, the game tried to crash, not the plane crashing. Okay, take me lower so we can see the bridges. People are throwing up so hard. Dude, here's the thing. There's your Bay Bridge, by the way. If you watch me play XPlane 11, you should actually never be afraid of flying again. Because if you can see me actually land and fly at cruising altitude with no problems whatsoever, like, any pilot that's ever trained should be able to do this, so you got nothing to worry about, dude. But it's not real? What do you mean it's not? It's the same, it's 1-to-1. Let's agree to disagree. Don't yell at me about airspeed, okay? I'm keeping the throttle cranked for now. And this is the, obviously the Golden Gate Bridge, where you get all the rice-a-roni. This is where the rice-a-roni's made. Alright, so next step, you gotta just keep a good hand on the yolk here. We're gonna go, you know, what altitude do we want to hit? Ideally 30,000, I suppose. Crank this up right here. Arm everything. Put it on horizontal navigation, level change vertical navigation, and now you just let this bad boy fly itself. Turn on the air conditioning. I'm afraid I do not know how to do that. I can do a couple of things, like, hey, check this out. What do we got up here? I shouldn't hit the power button, probably. Can flip their displays. This is... Dude, sorry, it's so smoky here still. These are the knobs you turn if you don't want to pass out at cabin or cruising altitude. Where's the lights? They're somewhere around here. Damper the yaw? You don't have to. You know, at this point, the plane flies itself. We don't have to worry until we get to Shell in 64 minutes. What are your thoughts on the subreddit today? What do you mean? What are my thoughts on the subreddit today? Where's my co-pilot? Don't need one. Oh no, what happened? The Kate intro? See, I just want you to know, so that you can interact with other YouTubers and Twitch streamers in a better fashion than you interact with me. When you say something like that, it sounds is like really anxiety inducing. When you're like, what are your thoughts on the subreddit? As if there's been some kind of incident. You say, what are your thoughts on the Cade intro? That's one thing. But out of context, it's a little bit anxiety inducing. He doesn't know. No, I just checked. Dude, I'm with you. The plane does need some UI optimization. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you really, like, you need this, 100%. You need this. That's the computer. It's pretty important, I think. Apparently you need this. Like, this is fuel. But, like, I'm not too worried about it. Because before I leave, I just make sure I have enough. You need this throttle. I don't know what these do, but when you land, you turn them off. These are your flaps, which, if this was a real plane, we would have basically disintegrated midair from flying at 300 knots with our flaps out, but that's my bad. And then, where's the lights here? Foot air, that's an important one. Windshield air is pretty useful. Oh, thank you, Han Solo. My son told me you need some money for the movies. This is just, you click on this if there's a fire. And then it stops yelling at you, and you just burn. So I thought there's like a lights auto switch somewhere here. There's just too many things, though. Engine start. I mean, what's up with that, right? Flight management computer. This is if you want to get the IRS off your back. You switch it different direction. Spoilers. Just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. And I mean, this is the game. What do you think of Neck's loop tweet? I haven't seen it, but I guarantee it's good. This is the first Tuesday stream I've watched in 8 weeks because of summer classes. Dude, you're missing out. I'm glad you get to see, like, our incredible XPlane shenanigans. Oh, dude, lights. Yeah, sorry. If you're in the cabin right now, I'm sorry. I know there's some people like this. If you're taking, like, a 1 p.m. flight and you want the lights dim, it will not happen. I'm keeping them on bright. Or bird. I'm not dimming the lights on a 1 hour afternoon flight. That's ridiculous. Also, I want to point out, Malf, if you ever give me bits again, you're dead to me. Your money's no good here. Those aren't the cabin lights? Whatever, I'll turn on my anti-skid. That should get rid of all the back seating. Give it back tenfold? That's not a good investment strategy. Would you do, well, sorry, I should turn off the seatbelt sign as well. I mean, we've been going for a while here. Where's the seatbelts is like... Here's the thing. Oh, fasten belts. Off. Yeah, you already got it. There you go. It's on off. You know what? Nobody shits on this flight. Nobody shits on this flight. And the no smoking sign is stuck in the off position. They literally... Look at this. This plane was built in like 1980. Now, can I smoke? I nope. I nope. NL, would you do a flight in XPlane with more adverse conditions? Oh, you mean like maybe some maniac grabs the throttle and just cranks it down to 0? And you're crashing and you're losing airspeed and... I'm just messing with you. It's no problem. It means inoperable. Actually, it means international... yeah. International Nouse of Pancakes. Correct. Here, one second. Let's get some more background music going. I really do feel weird, though, like, when I ask for stuff to play on the show, and then, you know, I'll see, like, all these game developers have come out with, like, you know, their life's work, and I'm like, well, I could play that, or I could just... program the flight computer and then let it fly me for an hour while I talk about nothing at all. Daniel, why are you giving me bits? Especially if you're not even coming to packs. How am I supposed to pay you back for the bits? Dynamic synaptic. There's music here, you just can't hear it yet. Oh! Yo, it bangs. There you go. What do you think about the Steve Miller Band? Are you asking that because I'm flying a big old jet airliner and it don't carry me too far away? Oh! So actually, this is not going to take that long, to be honest. Like, we're 37 minutes away from Shell, and if we wanted to, I mean, I'll just be straight up with you. We could fucking crank on the throttle. We could probably get there in like 20. And after 36 minutes, so here's how you read this computer here, in case you care, which you probably don't. We're 270 miles away from our next waypoint, basically the next GPS marker. And after that, every single marker is like, you know, just a few miles away, and we're flying pretty fast, so... You know, basically, this is the bulk of the trip. This is like 95% of the trip, and the other 5% are here. I don't know why you don't fly full throttle all the time. I assume it has something to do with, like, fuel efficiency? I don't know. Use metric, you traitor. I know how to change that. It's here, right? You hit meters instead of feet. Dude, I have no idea what this means. 9,000 meters? I don't want to see that. Take it off. Here's the thing. I know they're nautical miles. I do not care. What's the difference between a nautical mile and a regular mile? Like, is a nautical mile not just a mile at sea? It's bigger? Why would a nautical mile be larger than a regular mile? I don't know if America invented this, but that's just very dumb. There's a slight difference. It's literally a different measurement. Why didn't you call it like a spurf then? Why didn't you say it's 8 spurfs away? Instead of saying, oh, it's a mile, but because it's at water, it's different. They're basically the same. It's Java versus JavaScript. I mean, that's stupid too, don't get me wrong. Oh, hey, why the fuck you climbing? Because a nautical mile has to do with knots. It's the same thing, like, stop talking about knots. Why don't you just give me meters per second? Level change? It's not on level change, excuse me, it's on altitude hold. Oscar. You're acting like... I've spent dozens of hours in the simulator. Please don't try to backseat your pilot. I'm a pretty experienced flyer here. 1 nautical mile is a degree of altitude. Ah, yeah. Of course. Alright, 27 minutes away. We're just gonna fly like this for a while. We could, I don't know, there's various different camera angles you can use. If we wanted to, we could really fuck it up and just, like, you know, pull out the landing gear. Apparently they don't like it when you pull out the landing gear at cruising altitude. There's this camera angle, which is like, watch out, it's coming right for us. And then there's this one, which is like, watch out, it's coming right for us, but, like, much faster this time. And then there's this one, which is like, what am I looking at all? Oh, this is it. If you're a farmer on the ground, you can look up and be like, chemtrails. And there's this one, which is like, you're his neighbor, 14 acres away. I don't know why your head rolls like this, but now you look up and go, all right, chemtrails. And then this one is like, hey Reddit, I'm shy. Here's a picture of my holes. And then there's... Oh, we're back in the cockpit now. Oh, thank you. Would you offer to fly if your pilot and co-pilots had heart attacks? So here's the thing. I'm probably better than the average pilot. I've made some pretty good landings, is all I'm trying to say. I think that there's some people in the sim community that are like, man, I just hope both pilots eat the shrimp and get food poisoning and pass out so I can land it. I'm not like that. But I'll tell you what, if I was on the plane, you know, maybe there's 20 people, and the pilot has like a seizure or something, or he passes out, and they're like, can anybody land this? I would be like, what about you? Like, don't they teach the flight crew how to at least do basic maneuvers or something? If they were like, no, I would be like, okay, I need the stick, and I need the throttle, and that's it. If you give me stick and throttle, I'll give you a chance. I've used the HOTUS, and I'm not saying that makes me qualified. I'm just saying that makes me perhaps 1% more qualified than the average person. I would try if I had to. Yeah, I brought my own HOTUS, actually. Where's the USB port on this thing? Is that it? Oh, oxygen mask, okay. There's foot pedals too? Yeah, but I don't need the rudder because I fly straight. What do you think about smoked shrimp? I've never had smoked shrimp. It is one of the seafoods I've never had smoked. Ooh. I did eat smoked salmon for breakfast this morning because I like to. What's your favorite variety of seafood? Now, that's a question. I gotta say, I might say scallops. I really like a scallop. They're a little, I mean, they're a lot expensive. And of course, you got the difference between a bay scallop and whatever the other kind of scallop is, but you can give me like a big scallop, I'm all for it. Sardines on toast? Not really my style. Are you landing? I would guess, in all likelihood, we will probably land within like 25 minutes. We are gonna have to slow down at some point, and then this is gonna, like, we're going something like 540 miles an hour right now. If you try to land at 540 miles an hour, you're gonna have a bad time. So we're gonna have to slow down before we land, and that's gonna make this climb a little bit. I mean, we also have to get down below 30,000 feet, which is gonna take, you know, a few minutes. If you wanted to be like, and this is where we are relative to the coast, like there's San Francisco right there. I don't know any of these other airports, I think, like KPRB, I have no idea what that is. That's Priebus, California. KCSL, that's Martin St. Louis Airport. The gear handle is down. Yeah, that's my bad. I put that down as a joke when we were flying, but then my gear didn't come down. God, I can't wait for NHL. You and me both, buddy. Trust me. It should be down in the middle section. Excuse me. This down is clearly the bottom. Off is the middle position. Don't I want my landing gear to be up, though? Seems like I would want up. I don't know what off means in this situation. You want it off during cruise. Well, you know, thanks, Sully. Appreciate it. There's those bad boys right there, my VTOLs. It means you want off the plane. So for Team Unity today, the plan as far as I know is we're doing 2 hours of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Brendan's Wet Dream, and then we're doing 2 hours of Rainbow Six Siege, to the best of my knowledge. So we're getting a little mixture of this and that. It's beautiful. This music is bad. Yes, it's royalty free. I mean, if you want, we could play like the best royalty free music ever made, like Mendelssohn's Midsummer's Night's Dream. Oh, it's the wedding song. I didn't know it was a Shakespeare piece. NL, have you read the finale comments? This shit pisses me off, okay? For two reasons. One is, finale first is not that bad. The other one is I posted a video where the description of the video was like, I heard your comments about a finale. Never fear. And then people are still like, have you used finale, or have you figured out finale? Merriam-Webster's dictionary defines finale as the final act of a performance. Yeah, I get it, you know? It's alright. You don't have to worry about it, okay? Trust me, I'm like 12 hours ahead in Darkest Dungeon. Everything's going fine. You don't have anything to worry about. This is the default 737, not the Zebo mod. But I do have some custom airports that other people made. Imagine using a fatality at the start of the match. Oh, you mean the move that instantly kills the opponent in Mortal Kombat? Yeah, imagine using a fatality at the start of the match. That would be incredible. It sounds so useful. Yes, when the new Trials comes out, I will absolutely play it. On the stream. I love Trials. Are you going to play Blade Strangers on the NLSS when it drops? What the heck is Blade Strangers? So I'm not watching the International, even though it takes place in my city. Oh, dude, there's another plane up there. It's fast! But I have seen some Dota nerds around town. I'm happy to see them, you know. I hope you're enjoying Vancouver and British Columbia. I'm sorry it's smoky. It wasn't my fault. If anything, it's probably tourists ignoring the campfire ban, lighting the northern part of the province on fire. So really, you should be apologizing to me. But either way... Who is your fifth for Siege? I do not know. I have to sort it out with the other boys in Team Unity. Your interest has been noted, Corey. Thank you for your acquiescence. There's a lot of volunteers in chat too, though. It's true. Oh, Blade Strangers is the Nicholas fighting game. I'm going to be straight up with you. I don't care that Isaac is in the game. If you couldn't get me to play a critically acclaimed fighting game with Dragon Ball Z characters in it, it's not going to happen for Blade Strangers. It would have to actually come out and get like a 15 out of 10 from every review outlet. During descent, try flicking all the landing lights on the left bottom side of the overhead panel. These ones right here? Or, yeah, that's his fuel pump. So I don't like that one. It's probably these right here, huh? Yes. Okay. I mean, I should probably start slowing down. I'm going pretty fast. Someone said, please check out Nick's insane tweet. I kind of like a 1 hour flight to start the show, because I feel like I have to come up with like literally 99% of the commentary. Gets me warmed up. Yeah, sex is great, but me during sex hurt me. Slaps belly. By the age of 35, you can fit so many loops, father. Realizing it's only Tuesday, Arthur hand. Yeah, I mean, I worry about the, I worry about this guy. Oftentimes. I think, you know, I put it in perspective sometimes. Nick is like the age that my father was when I was in like 9th grade. And it scares me. There's a stark difference. I'm not saying you can't have fun. I'm just saying there's a difference. I'm trying to think. No, well, let me think. I was in 9th grade in 2002. Yeah, no, dude, it's pretty close. I think my dad was born in like 1967, I think, so. I saw a picture of my father with me as a baby, and he looks like a younger me. Yeah, I get that sometimes. It's crazy. And, you know, it's mostly like, because those photos are being taken in the early 1990s, so he had a sweet mustache. So if I ever shave and I like leave my mustache on as like the final thing, I'm like, that's my dad, but bald. Mouth has Ultimate Fishing. Mouth, does it have multiplayer? Because if it has online multiplayer, I will play with you, of course. It does? Dude, let's do it. I was worried it was going to be completely solitary. If I'm being honest, when I was planning out what to play and in what order, I put it last because I was like, maybe Malf will want to hang out in the call. Because he seems like the kind of guy who likes fishing. You know, he might want to be like, oh, hell yeah, brother, you got a 36-inch pike. And I'd be like, yeah, but please stop looking at me and look at the fish. Can. Oh, it's a classic. Isn't this the one that's like bam, 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 bam? The lights are too bright. Please dim the lights. I refuse. I don't dim the lights. I want you to be aware of your surroundings. Did I do it right? Why do you hate us? Play something fun? What's your problem? This is fun. You don't appreciate the miracle of fucking flight? The Wright brothers died of this. Or died so we could do this or something. Look, I haven't really looked up aviation history, but still. Okay, here's the thing. So we're going to go level change on the VNAV system here. And, I mean, if you were like a coward, you could go to a safe descent rate of something like, you know, maybe 400 feet per minute or something like that. But instead, we're going to be going down to 5,000 feet. Why is the autopilot being a jerk about it? There we go. Yeah, I don't know if I want you to be negative 100 feet. That seems like it could be bad for me. Sometimes you gotta slap the buttons a couple times to get it to work. Have you ever thought about getting a captain's hat? Well, I already have one. A real man would take his Cessna and fly without all the fancy doodads. Dude, I've flown the Cessna in this game. It's too easy. I got a level with you, so, like, the plane is not descending as fast as I would like. And this happens a lot. I don't really understand. Are we up in the mountains right now? Maybe that's part. Oh, and there we go. It's finally going down. I was, sometimes the autopilot, it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do. So I just drop it 5,000 feet per minute. What are we looking at down here? KBFL. By the way, this is how I play XPlane. I go, oh, that place looks cool. And then I go to Google and I type in KBFL. And if it's a small airport, it usually tells me it's a radio station. Oh, that's Meadows Field in Bakersfield, California. Sunny Bakersfield. How did you even learn how to fly these? I was taught how to use... Here's the thing. You need to know this, and you need to know this. And I learned both of these from a 13-year-old British kid on YouTube. Who, 10 years ago, he would have been calling my mother a prostitute in Halo. But instead, he got himself into flight simulators. He's made something of himself. So I really appreciate it, to be honest. Can you collide with other planes in this? I don't believe so. Not in this version, at least. Yo, this music is making me very anxious. Oh. Lower volume, please? Can we get a volume change? No, when you land, you have to play Lonely Trout Man. That's the one rule. Have you heard Dan's podcast? I have not. I saw that his first episode was about why he started his YouTube channel, and I was like, you know what? I don't need to know how the sausage got made. All I care about is that the sausage is delicious. I enjoy eating the sausage. Please don't take that out of context. I don't need to know the name of the pig and the spices and where the caraway was grown. All I want is one more. Is this sunrise or sunset? I don't want to land in darkness. Is there a clock in the game? Where's the... I thought there was a clock somewhere. Where's the clock? Look at the sun. I can't look at the sun. It's rising or setting. I'm flying to the south. Good point. Okay, so I'm flying south. And the sun is on my right, which would be my west. So this is sunset. Alright, well, we're going to have to... Dude, we'll land at dusk. It'll make for a beautiful replay. So I think that's probably LAX right here. Just over the mountains. So I'm a little worried that we're going to get a little low over the mountains. But hey, that'll be picturesque. Let's put it that way. Shouldn't your pilot be wearing a Rolex? I don't know. How much... If I'm working for American Airlines... It's American Airlines, right? American Airlines. What? Let's say I'm a 65-year-old pilot. What's my average salary like? 110? 150K plus. Damn, dude. You could probably get a Rolex. It's pretty good job security, too, I imagine. Will you land this before it's time for the next section? No. We'll probably be off by maybe 5 minutes. Maybe 10, actually. Yeah, I always wonder about that, because I've heard, like, if you work for a regional airliner, it's, you get paid, like, peanuts, and you work your ass off. I always think about that, because, like, when I'm flying Vancouver to Toronto, I'm, like, no anxiety whatsoever in my entire flight experience. When I fly from, like, Toronto to rural Ontario, and the pilot is, like, 31 years old, and the flight attendant is also the co-pilot, and they're, like, 17, I'm like, dude, I'm a little nervous. So yeah, I know my flight computer tells me the altitude I should be at, but I can never get it right because it's telling me I should be at 1,900 feet, which is way low. I've never programmed cruise properly. It's in miles? You're telling me we're 1,900 miles above the surface of the Earth? I don't think so. I wish I could explain this, but chat is going too fast. Dude, I'm a very fast reader. Try me. I would love to have to not manually touch the altitude indicator. What are your thoughts on Banh Mi? Is this a Ligma? Because I like Banh Mi, but I don't know if I'd like Banh Mi nuts in my mouth. Banh Mi from your Twitch channel? It's not bad. Now, we're starting to get, and this is a little cheaty here, but, you know, what are these mountains? Is this the Appalachians? We're getting a little low over the Appalachians. I don't know American mountain geography that much. I know it's not the Appalachians. It's not the Rockies, right? It's the Pacific Ocean over here. The Sierras, of course. And now, what is the best American city? See, I like that you asked me that question because I am not afraid to offend 99.5% of chat. I would for me, Seattle. But I think it depends on what you like. Depends on the climate you like. Depends on the, you know, how you feel about cost of living. Depends how you feel about winter. Dude, winter is the one that fucks with people. There are people, if you live on the East Coast, I've heard you talk about it. I don't know if I could live in a city that didn't have snow. What the fuck are you talking? It's the easiest thing of all time. You go outside in January. What's the difference? You go, oh, I'm not horribly inconvenienced. It's incredible. I'm just saying. Sometimes people in chat are like, I pick Cleveland. And it's like, I get it. You live in Cleveland. But use some objectivity, please. I don't know why the lights just went out as well. NL, that is ignorant. And it makes you seem like a childish tool. I get it. I found the Ohioan. I'm just saying. Dude, my province is on fucking fire right now. I think you gotta accept, you know, you gotta be able to poke fun at yourself. What's the best Canadian city? Dude, I can't even answer that. There's too many feelings will be hurt. Possibly my own. You're right, it's Moose Factory. Not Ohio, I'm from Denver, but the point stands. Dude, I love the idea of Denver, so why are you mad at me? Denver's like an honorary West Coast city. You're cool as far as I'm concerned. Well, okay, if I have to say what's the best Canadian city, I really like Vancouver, okay? But then, when people from Vancouver are like, I don't like Toronto. 4 months out of the year, it's blanketed in white precipitation that makes it inconvenient and unpleasant to live. People from Toronto are like, I don't like Vancouver. They're snobs. Oh, can I get a coffee with soy milk? What's the worst city in Canada? Also Vancouver. Hold on, I gotta get back in the cockpit here. Alright, we're at 9 minutes away. Speed is actually, I think the speed is fine. We're almost at 5,000. I know it's a joke, but I really do hate the city's not on the West Coast, East Coast don't matter rhetoric. I can understand that, you know? I can understand it being annoying. Malv and I, you know, we grew up in, this is going to sound rude, but we grew up in an irrelevant part of the country. And if you were like, you'd go to Toronto for the weekend, you'd be like, oh boy, the big city, you know? I don't blame you. The coasts do, they look down on the center of the country, but also the center of the country kind of looks down at the coasts as well. I've seen those electoral college maps where they're like, why does this dot get to represent as many electoral college votes as the 12 states with 4 people in them? You know? Look at how big this part of the map is versus this part. It cuts both ways to some extent. Yeah, middle of the country hates the coast. I'm telling you, dude, we grew up. Malv and I grew up in the middle of the country, where we would be like, you know, well, I mean, we weren't like this, but my grandparents were like this, like, yeah, out in Vancouver, they're drinking Starbucks. Here we drink Tim Hortons. And we like it that way. The kind of people that would go into, you know, Starbucks, person in front of them, I'll take a toy 6-pump almond milk hazelnut Lotterita, please. And then they'll be like, I'll take a large black coffee. And they'd think that the barista's head would explode. Alright, okay, well, this is where we grab the yoke ourselves because the mountains are quickly approaching. You know, we could probably just turn this autopilot off right now. North America is so weird, dude. It's like you manufacture regional feuds. Yeah, unlike Europe, which, you know, their regional feuds were 2 millennia of war followed by 2 world wars in the last 100 years. No shade, by the way. We're over it, though. Yeah, Europe seems to have basically no dissent right now. You're right. But we're mad at other places for the beverages they consume. Okay. Here we go. We're getting close. We're getting close. So I'm throttling down a little bit. Flaps down. So the altimeter on like our crosshair right now is indicative of how high we are above the mountains. I would say 1,000 feet is not really where we want to be. I don't think we're landing there. I think that's a fictional airport. I think we might be landing here. That's not LAX. That's like, you know, Hollywood Airport. Play regional, or play Lonely Trout Man. I'm a little busy right now, but if you give me a second, I might be able to get some Lonely Trout Man. In a Cessna, you have infinite time. In a let's not do that. In something like this, you got to pay a little bit more attention. I think that's Santa Monica. No, that's Theory of a Dead Man. All right, I know we're climbing. You got to give me a second here. Lonely. So lonely. Got it. All right, we're climbing too fast. Go down. Okay, back down, back down, back down. Trout Man's going. Dude, we're not landing in the next 5 minutes though. Probably. Sometimes the waypoints get a little frigged up. I don't really follow air traffic control's directions. Sometimes I just like to, you know, take myself in. You know, I'm a grown man. I don't need air traffic control to tell me how to fly. So I'm pretty sure this is us right here. And we're probably going to land long runway. Yeah, this is where I get confused, because the waypoint is like, come around and do a circle here, and I'm like, what if instead of doing a circle, I just landed? Because the doing the circle part seems kind of annoying. That's why ATC is important. Oh, because it's a simulator. Yeah, well, I don't see any other planes. I'm using my eyes to simulate what I see in the world around me. And I ain't seeing any freaking... Have you done any ILS landings? Tune nav 1 to 111.1 if you want to. I have no idea what that means, but I'm pretty sure if I did that, somebody would ask me if my refrigerator's running. Not now. The pilot is in the middle of an incredibly tense maneuver. All right? Remove cursor, please. I need to use the cursor so I can look at my instruments. Then we're going full HOTUS. It would give you crosshairs for landing. Don't put crosshairs in quotations. I'm a professional. You can call it the flight director. Bitrate is at a 0 out of 10. Nah, dude, that's just what XPlane looks like when you're flying into a city. It kind of bangs, I'll admit. Alright, we've slowed down greatly. We land usually flaps 30, so we got a little ways to go there. But I'm gonna be honest, we probably need to probably need to restart Lonely Trout Man. So if you give me a second, we're gonna yank up just a little bit. And then we're gonna go back. And we're gonna go... Okay, Lonely Trout Man started over. We good? We good? We good? Yeah, we're good. No worries. Okay, this is for the real tension now. This track does not sound like a safe landing. Well, I'm the pilot and you're a passenger, so I'd acquiesce you keep your mouth shut and go back to coach, please. Row 61J, right next to the bathroom, if you don't mind. So that people don't have to smell the shit coming out of your mouth. Seatbelt sign, very true. Give me a moment here, just make sure we're steady. Seatbelt sign, please. Also, fasten your belt seats. On. Thank you. No smoking. Sorry, it's INOPE. It's getting a little dark in the cockpit right now, to be honest with you. So sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad. Sync rate. That's my bad. One second, I gotta move the microphone just a little bit. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna be engaging in our turn pretty soon. Just gotta watch out for the sync rate here. Do a loop or no balls? Well, we're traveling about as fast as a Ford Focus right now, so I dare not do an aileron roll, as we call it in the industry. Let's put our landing gear down. Here we go. I honestly think we're going to throttle up just a little bit. I think we're sinking a little. I'd prefer to stay above the ground if possible. Turn the cockpit lights on. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know where those are. If you can tell me within the next 1.3 minutes, I'll make it happen. Turn any lights on at all. That's not an answer. I don't know where the lights are. Over there. Top left. I don't see him, dude. The other left. Oh, okay, right here then. Just put on your night vision goggles. We're landing, bitch. When the Trout Man kicks, you begin the descent. Where the heck is the runway? Oh, there it is. And, like, dude, slow down. We're going way too fast. Music's a little loud. Hold on. Yacked on that one a little too much. That's okay. It's been known to happen. I gotta be honest with you, I think I need to restart Lonely Trout Man again, so I'm gonna pull up.
Sync right.
What have I done?
Hold on.
All this for Lonely Trout Man. Sunny Los Angeles, 220 feet above the buildings. Okay, here we go. Turn on your headlights, you madman. I don't know where the lights are. Yeah, I don't need flight director anymore. Get your crosshairs off the screen. It's called lamp on the upper panel. I'm afraid you don't need to worry about that anymore, boys. We're coming in for a smooth landing. I see the paradise by the runway lights. The landing gear's already down. You got nothing to worry about. Don't distract your pilot. He's very busy right now. Okay, there's our runway. We're landing on the short runway. Because you know what? It's too late. And it's gonna butter. I promise you this will butter. Don't worry about the crosshair. That's just the classic Boeing 737 crosshair. Flaps down, please. If we could be on flaps 30, that would be ideal. I put the flaps 30. Good. Alright, stay on target. Remember what Sully said. If you can't land the plane, you're a bitch. Sully. I don't remember his name. Andrew. You remember Sully's classic quote. You can't land this shit on a runway? I landed it in a friggin' river. I hate geese. Also a good Sully quote. Okay, I can't tell. Is that water beneath us? We're only 100 feet above the surface of the ocean here. Throttle down, please. We're gonna land a little early. Throttle up. Throttle down. Oh, well, that came into view late. Well, it's gonna be a little early. but I mean, it went relatively well at the end. What can you say? I gotta turn this music off, dude. It's too loud. Anyway, thank you, Lonely Trout Man. I really appreciate it. Now you gotta go watch the replay, because I don't know, that landing, we might have crashed into a tower, like that electrical transformer sort of thing, but apart from that, I thought it was pretty good. Rip, 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 rip. N for night vision? Really?
Sync rate.
Yeah, I know, sync rate. Let's see. Now that I have like a little bit of lighting, it kind of seems like, you know, I know what I'm doing to a greater extent. Low and slow is a cooking thing, not a flying thing. Dude, but look at this. That's where we cranked on the throttle, because things were getting a little spooky. Narrowly missed that skyscraper. Absolutely true. And this is where we cut throttle. We're a little bit, you know, right of the center line. Rudder adjustment. Pitching up at the end. Okay, we did screw up the center line. But the landing in the end was pretty smooth. It wasn't 100% smooth, but it was relatively greased. Yeah, let's just get that. Can we get that one more attempt, please? We didn't even get any smoke coming out of the tires. Yeah, exactly. Who needs all that runway, dude? I try to slow down. Like, if I can land going like 1 kilometer an hour, works for me. Look at this. Kind of, to be honest, might have come close to hitting some of the lights, but that's a relatively good landing. I can live with that. Anyway, that's XPlane. I'm going to play some Guacamelee too. You'd have your license taken away? Doubtful. I fly for Allegiant. Where's my controller? Any landing you can walk away from. That's what they say. That's what we say in the business. Any landing you can walk away from. Me and my other pilot buddies are always talking about it. When's Isaac Hodis episode? I think it's the next episode, believe it or not. You may or may not believe it, but believe it. I will be fishing with a Malf for sure. I'm going to load Guacamelee, and then I'm going to urinate so my bladder doesn't explode. I was holding it the whole flight. That's what being a pilot is all about. Okay? You guys back there, oh, they don't have the movie I want to watch. Me, sync rate, bladder's almost exploded. They don't have decaf. And they ran out of Sierra Mist. I gotta have a Sprite. Sync rate.